Welcome back to Northwind Clutch Series 11. A little bit of a changeover, and we've got two more best of threes to go through. My name is Pop. With me, it is Atro, and we'll be the ones to guide you through the next two best of threes. And well, the one next up is a little closer to our hearts, but you know, we'll be. Don't worry about it. We won't care that much. But it is, it is X Ruby taking on HYPERSPIRIT, and it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna be brutally honest. It doesn't really matter that it's a little close to our heart. HYPERSPIRIT are playing a very tough team.
Yes, they are 100% coming into this one. HYPERSPIRIT are not going to be the favorites following up onto this best of three. However, we will try to hold on to the caveat that they are on a 4-match win streak, right? Their form has been a little fine. They've managed to actually only really lose against Sashi in recent history. As of now, when they're not fully Romanian yet anymore, I think that they have actually managed to find that moment to click. Scrub has been looking good, QQ's been looking good, and I think that the entirety of HYPERSPIRIT feels a little bit more drilled just because of the fact that they had to switch languages, they had to switch setups a little bit here now as a technically new squad. And they're gonna have quite a little bit of fight to go through though, because a little restructuring isn't necessarily going to get you past maybe a team like X Ruby.
Yeah, that is very fair. And I mean, X Ruby just absolutely crazy overall. They're super good. I'm very surprised that they have not been picked up just yet by, you know, any organization. But I am very interested to see how Tommy plays into this. For Tommy, he last played all the way back in April, and you know, X Ruby is a very good team nonetheless. They are ranked 55th in the world in terms of VRS, 76th in terms of HLTV. They have been you know, taken down some interesting names. They have been losing to some names that before they might maybe not have lost to. You know, they lost to Gen 1, they lost to Cyber Show Prospects, they lost to 1win, but the matches that they have won in Clutch Series 10, because those are where the examples came from, they won 2-0. They didn't really struggle there. They played in a different tournament. They got second place there. They won over Virtus Pro, over Gentlemates, but it might have been with a different fifth, and it was indeed with Yamsen, if I'm not mistaken. Also Shineges instead of Lear. Yeah, it was, you know, some different changes here and there. But I am very excited to see how this, is it new iteration, is an updated iteration, I guess we'll find out, of Ruby is going to be faring against HYPERSPIRIT, who are basically building up to be the new HYPERSPIRIT, if you will.
Yeah, the new HYPERSPIRIT indeed. For X Ruby's side though, I'd always like to throw in the little caveat of the fact that they've only really been fighting Russian teams for the past like 2 months now. The only team that they haven't actually gone up against that wasn't almost fully Russian was Gen 1, and they did lose in a 2-1 fashion there. It was a close matchup, but that is relevant just because the way that the style of gameplay that usually gets built up from the CIS regions teams like 1win, like Lavd, like beforehand with just players as well, and VP alongside TDK. These are teams that are extremely, and I mean extremely well versed in their individual performances, amazing firepower bringing onto their side. But when it comes down to the tactics, a lot of the time it's not like it's simple or standard tactics, but it's much more pack-based mentalities, right? You have your lurker, who's your dedicated lurk, and then you kind of have the rest 4 on the server trying to run you down, trying to execute somewhere, trying to do something together. Now, that is to say, you know, that things do change a little bit when you inject a little bit of Scandinavian rhythm into HYPERSPIRIT now. Because usually, if we'd be talking about the Romanian HYPERSPIRIT, you'd say that that kind of plays up right into the alleyway of the CIS region as well, right? The standard setup with your defaults, trying to play slower rounds and then executing into a late Navi-esque setup to surprise everybody and to maybe win the 50-50 on a site exec. That's usually how, at least for the average scene, kind of goes out here into the pro scene for Romania, and for Eastern Europe as a whole. It feels like Ukraine has kind of moved away from that, but you're looking at a lot of Polish teams, a lot of Romanian teams. Hell, even I think Ascend have been known to do that quite a couple of times whenever they're actually choosing to play the round and not wait a whole minute until something happens. right? So we can even take a look on down to the Bulgarian scene and kind of see that it does seem to match kind of what the Russian scene is bringing up, of a lot of individually gifted players just trying to shine a way into the server. But it feels like for HYPERSPIRIT now, with the introduction of QQ and Scrub, of course, with the staffing team on the coach with Rickard J, things have changed in the sense of they don't always have just one star player. It's not just their IGL now star player managing to find a lot of great entries. QQ, Scrub, they've been looking like real menaces on the server just because of the individual impact, right? You think that you come into this one and the whole kind of idea behind HYPERSPIRIT is going to change. I can tell you, it hasn't necessarily changed on the main idea, on the macro-wise. Star players just being allowed to call a little bit more experimentally. But QQ has been a menace, man. His previous game, I think it landed up on a single map, him landing a 40 bomb or something. So he's been looking scary, and Scrub has been having a lot of opportunities for clutches, which an Opper doesn't necessarily usually get. So I think I'm gonna be excited watching this HYPERSPIRIT going on ahead to a team that
sorry
have too many chances.
sorry to cut you off there, outro, but there may be a development. But no, I do want to agree with everything that you're saying. I think this is a very exciting form of HYPERSPIRIT. I do want to ask our producer again what he said and if it is confirmed, because if it is confirmed, we can relay it to everyone. Yeah. I think we can. I'm pretty sure we can say it. So XRuby force-fed the game. So I don't know. It's
such an exciting game.
Yeah, I mean,
about to happen.
I was excited. But it seems like they are unable to field the current VRS score for the match, considering that they were supposed to play with Tommy, potentially with somebody else. I'm guessing they just didn't have the players that they needed to. So unfortunately, that is going to be a forfeit from their side. With this game, it doesn't necessarily say that, you know, their matches going forward are not going to be played. They even did the, you know, the whole pick and ban phase, which was, well,
yeah, no,
usually,
this is
you know,
really weird because XRuby do have a coach in theory. Like they're an ex organization, but they're still 55th in the VRS, so they do have a coach in Shocky. I'm just surprised why Shocky isn't playing. I guess it's more than a single person issue. That'd be the only way I can see it. Yeah, because we're supposed to actually have Feinstein here as well, and they don't have him on HLTV. It was supposed to be Relaxi instead of him. So I'm guessing there were some mix and matchups that just got in the way, sadly, out here for XRuby, because they were coming in as the favorites for this best of 3. But
well,
yeah,
I'm just trying to look. It was I think Relaxi, Shinges, and Hasinator that had like the VRS. Was it them? I think it was them. But yeah, it
Hasinator and Lear, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Hasinator and Lear. Okay, so. Well, technically, Shinges and Hasinator are still in the team. Relaxi, Fine Shine, and assuming Tommy. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're getting too deep into it. Now, they just didn't have the core, so they're forfeiting the game. So, yeah, we just talked about it for like 10 minutes. Doesn't matter anymore. Just forget it. We still have another best of 3 in like 3 hours. So, yep. I'm guessing an extended break. It's going to be Sparta taking on Leo. Just if they want to forfeit, just, you know, or if they don't know if they can play, at least we don't do a whole pre-show segment without having anything to show for it. I was excited as well. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I think you guys were looking forward to it too, but you're gonna get to see XRuby and HYPERSPIRIT play continuously into the Swiss stage because it's just round 1 of the Swiss stage. It won't be that big of a bullet to be taken out here by XRuby. With that being said, though, ladies and gents, as Pop just mentioned, we are gonna be sending you into a further break. It's gonna be around about 2.5 hours to 3 until we get back to Sparta and Leo for the final best of 3 of the day. So don't go anywhere. We'll see how that one's gonna go.